and welcome. You're watching Rajya Sabha TV. This is Breakfast News. I am Rajat Kane. Let's have a look at the top headlines. State set for fourth phase polling in Uttar Pradesh, 53 constituencies across 12 districts to vote on Thursday. Vice President arrives in Uganda for second leg of two-nation Africa tour. On his last day in Rwanda, calls terrorism a major hurdle in quest for peace globally. India and China hold upgraded strategic dialogue in Beijing. Talks to shore up bilateral ties amid attempts to resolve differences over NSG bid and Maulana Masood Azhar. Shurhozelie Liezeitsu to be sworn as Nagaland's 11th Chief Minister. Situation normalises in state after indefinite bandh in protest against former CM is called off. In Tamil Nadu, DMK's day-long hunger strike against trust vote in the Assembly slated today. Party writes to Assembly Secretary seeking no confidence motion against Speaker. Up front, let's have a look at the top headlines in election and verdict 2017. The stage is set for the fourth phase of polling in UP that will be held on Thursday. 53 constituencies and 12 districts, particularly in Bundelkhand region, will go to polls tomorrow. Raebareli, Allahabad, Jhansi, Chitrakoot, Fatehpur and Pratapgarh are some of the prominent constituencies. A total of 630 candidates, including 50 women, are in fray in this phase of elections. In Congress, Sonia Gandhi's constituency, Raebareli, party leader Akhilesh Singh's daughter Aditi Singh will be contesting. In the 2012 polls, out of the 53 seats in this phase, Samajwadi Party won 24, BJP 5, BSP 15, Congress 6 and others won on 3 seats. On the last day of campaigning, Allahabad was a major centre where BJP President Amit Shah, SP Congress Alliance leaders Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi and BJP ally Aparna Dal President Anupriya Patel conducted road shows and also addressed public meetings. The campaigning for the fifth phase of the elections will continue today. Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav has a string of rallies scheduled for the day. He'll address 4 rallies in Bahraich, 2 in Shravasti and 1 in Gonda. The Congress Party's Ghulam Nabi Azad will address 2 rallies in Bahraich. Voting for 52 constituencies in this phase will be held on February 27th. The Election Commission is all set to conduct free and fair polls in UP in the fourth phase on Feb 23rd. Speaking to Rajya Sabha TV, UP Chief Electoral Officer T. Venkatesh said that appropriate action would be taken against all poll illegalities. He also exuded confidence that the fourth phase will witness record voter turnout.
So our preparednesses, we have been preparing for these phases from August in purification of our electoral roll, and now actual phases with regard to the actual preparedness for the poll. One is making all the arrangements, whether it's stationery, the seals, the ink, the first level checking of the electronic voting machines, checking of the VVPATs wherever they are put. In addition, deployment of polling personnel and using computerization and a software so that it is confidential and totally objective. Second is at the same time a huge drive of preventive action in terms of arms deposition, catching of illegal arms factory, every day raiding and getting illicit liquor. So all these preventive measures to ensure that on the day 23rd we are prepared for a free, fair and peaceful polling.
Right, sir. In the previous phases, we saw instances of paid news, instances of use of muscle power, money power. How do you plan to avert that now in the fourth phase?
I'll just tell you, for paid news, we have committees at the state level and at the district level, and we have been taking effective action. I would give you a detail what are the actions we have taken at district level and also at the state level.
So how do you plan to motivate the voters to get an impressive voter turnout?
Fortunately for us, in the first 3 phases, results have been very positive, and both in rural and urban areas, we have got good results. Except a few in the western part, Lucknow has got first class. For the first time since independence, it has crossed 60%. So that's a positive sign, and the way percentages are, we are doing well, and definitely we'll keep this in mind for our next 4 phases. We will improve our voter awareness measures, try to focus also on the urban areas.
Tell us about the facilities for differently abled voters.
I would just say, when we started off in August, out of our 14.12 crore voters, we focused as per the Commission's directives on PWDs, the young voters. We got the details from the Welfare Department and ultimately tagged and made a list of 7.91 lakh voters, tagged them exactly which address, which polling station, and we also at the same time sensitized our district administrators to give them facilities, to make a cluster approach, to facilitate them.
Tell us about the security measures in the vulnerable and sensitive pockets.
I would say, without giving the details of the forces, huge deployment of central paramilitary forces, supplemented by our state forces, then also web streaming, supplemented further by micro-observers, static magistrates, and video cameras in use of digital cameras. All this to make it more transparent.
Political parties of Manipur on Tuesday met full bench of Election Commission, urging it to ensure free and fair elections in the state, which will be held in 2 phases early next month. While the ruling party, Congress, requested more forces in the Naga areas of the hills for the people to cast their votes without fear, the opposition BJP expressed satisfaction with the preparations of the polls and asked Commission to conduct the elections in free and fair manner. The Trinamool Congress, which is contesting on 24 seats, accused the Congress of letting loose a reign of terror. It also charged a section of police officers with working partially. In an effort to end the crippling 3-month-long blockade in Manipur, Chief Minister Okram Ibobi Singh on Tuesday said that he was ready for tripartite talks with the United Naga Council. The decision to create 7 new districts in the state by bifurcating the existing ones was not discussed with the UNC. However, Ibobi Singh said the group had not responded to invitation for talks with the government. Refuting Home Minister Rajnath Singh's charge that blockade is a political conspiracy by Congress to divert attention from its failures, Ibobi Singh in turn accused the BJP of having an understanding with the UNC. Rajnath Singh had also accused the Congress of not utilizing the forces provided by the centre, to which Chief Minister said the state cannot blindly fire at civilians sitting on highway to lift the blockade, and that is centre that needs to take steps. Now, Maharashtra voted on Tuesday to decide which party will control the country's richest civic body, the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, and the BMC, and 9 other civic bodies across the state. Mumbai registered 55% votes by close of voting at 5:30 p.m. These polls are being seen as mini battle with a direct fight between BJP and Shiv Sena. Uddhav Thackeray called off his party's 2-decade-old alliance with the BJP, and both sides have since then engaged in shrill and personal campaign against each other. This is a big test for Shiv Sena, which has dominated BMC for 2 decades. A loss would further dent their image in regional and national politics, where the BJP has turned a senior player. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has staked his reputation on the line, claiming that a BJP loss would be his own responsibility. Voting was also held for 9 other municipalities in Maharashtra, including Nagpur, Thane, Pune and Nashik. Counting will take place on Thursday.
मतदारांना धन्यवाद देतो आहे आणि त्यांच्याकडनं ज्या उत्सवामध्ये मतदान होते मला नक्कीच खात्री आहे आशीर्वाद मिळाल्याशिवाय राहणार नाही.
मुंबई में भी भाजपा को स्पष्ट बहुमत मिलेगा. जनता हमारे साथ है और हमारी जनता से कमिटमेंट है
कि वे लोग अलग लड़ रहे हैं तो इससे जरूर हमारा फायदा होगा, लेकिन हम खास करके मुंबईकरों के लिए क्या है इस चुनाव में, हम वही जनता के सामने रखना चाहते हैं.
आज 10 महानगर पालिकाओं में और 10 जिला पंचायतों में चुनाव चल रहे हैं. मैं तमाम जनता को ये निवेदन करता हूं कि लोकतंत्र में वोटिंग ये आपका अधिकार है और इस अधिकार का उपयोग सभी ने करना चाहिए, इसको कर्तव्य मानकर करना चाहिए।
Odisha recorded an average of 77% voting on Tuesday amidst tight security in the fifth and final phase of three-tier Panchayat elections. Polling was held in 150 Zilla Parishad constituencies spread across 26 of 30 districts of the state. While the highest voter turnout of 88% was reported in Subarnpur district, the lowest 67% polling was recorded in Ganjam district. The overall polling percentage in three-tier rural poll in the state stood at 74%. Meanwhile, post-poll violence was reported in some parts of the state. At least 4 policemen were injured and 2 vehicles were damaged when miscreants resorted to stone pelting in a bid to snatch the ballot boxes in Kendrapara district. Time for a short break. More news on the other side.
Harappan sites are a treasure trove of sophisticated pottery. These creations show tremendous advances by the potter's wheel. Creations like the perforated jar, the copper axe, the chisel and knives astound even present-day archaeologists. Figurines depicting yoga poses, chess pieces display a complexity unsurpassed even by later-day civilizations, all of which make the Harappan civilization truly unique.
Art arisen from a multi-hued cultural canvas. Tradition and cultural fervor dating back centuries. And encircling them all, there's a magic that awes. Embrace your nation's brilliant human warmth. Watch Colors of India, Sundays at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Down the ages, jewelry has been the pride of the Indian culture. In the Harappan period, it attained perfection in flattened gold bands. From the Mauryan period came the exquisite gold brooches. Many ornaments were an extension of religious practices, like the Gauri Shankaram Rudraksh necklace worn by the temple priest. Rings with lids preserved the taweez that held secret messages and sometimes even poison.
Welcome back. In the northeastern state of Nagaland, the Nagaland People's Front President Shurhozelie Liezeitsu will be sworn in as the state's 11th Chief Minister today. On Monday, Governor P.B. Acharya invited Liezeitsu to form the next government after the ruling Democratic Alliance of Nagaland unanimously elected him as leader of Legislative Party. Outgoing Chief Minister Shurhozelie Liezeitsu stepped down on Sunday in the wake of violent protests that broke out when his government wanted to hold municipal elections with 33% reservation for women. 7 Naxals were killed in fierce gun battle with security forces in Chhattisgarh's Narayanpur district yesterday. The exchange of fire took place in forests of Pushpal village of the district. A joint team of district reserve group and district force launched a counter-insurgency operation from Barsur police station of the neighbouring Dantewada district in the morning. When the forces were cordoning off the jungles of Pushpal along the border of the 2 districts, they came under heavy firing from a group of rebels, leading to prolonged gunfight. Meanwhile, the forces also made a huge haul of weapons, including 2 12-bore rifles, 1 315-bore rifle and 1 12-bore pistol from the area.
एक बड़ी मुठभेड़ हुई है और काफ़ी सारे नक्सली मारे गए हैं।
7 डेड बॉडीज जवानों ने बरामद कर ली हैं, 2 इंसास राइफलें भी उनको मिली हैं और भी बहुत सारे वेपन और बहुत सारा सामान है। इस एनकाउंटर में कई बड़े नक्सलियों के भी मारे जाने की संभावना बताई जा रही है।
Expressing reservations on global reports linking deaths to air pollution, the Environment Ministry has said that a study will be soon conducted by the Health Ministry on the issue. The Environment Ministry, however, admitted that at present it had no data or study by any Indian authority estimating the number of deaths due to air pollution. While interacting with the press, the Environment Minister Anil Dave reiterated that government is monitoring trend of various air pollutants across the country under National Air Quality Programme. The monitoring network comprises 680 manual stations spread across 300 cities in 29 states. He informed that government has embarked upon universalization of BS4 standards by 2017 of all types of vehicles. The Lancet, a UK medical journal, in its recent study had said that in air Indians breathe is turning more toxic by the day, and an average of 2 deaths take place daily due to air pollution.
ना हम उसे इनकरेक्ट कह रहे हैं, ना हम उसे करेक्ट कह रहे हैं, ना हम ऐसा है कि हम उसको संज्ञान में नहीं लेते हैं। हमारे कहने का तात्पर्य केवल इतना है कि केवल उसी को ही सर्टिफिकेट मान लेना, इसके संबंध में थोड़ा सा हम सब लोगों को सोचने की जरूरत है। एयर क्वालिटी मॉनिटरिंग वाला विषय है, इसके अंदर लोकल बॉडीज को एक निर्णायक भूमिका निभाना ही पड़ेगी। केंद्र सरकार इसके अंदर गाइड, फिलोसोफर, मार्गदर्शक, नीति नियामक के रूप में काम कर सकती है।
On to Tamil Nadu, where the Madras High Court is slated to hear DMK working president M.K. Stalin's petition against trust vote held in assembly last week. The main opposition parties in the state has also submitted a letter to Tamil Nadu Assembly Secretary for no confidence motion against Speaker P. Dhanpal. The party had questioned Speaker's role during trust vote on Feb 18th, that the E.K. Palaniswamy faction of ADMK won with margin of 122 to 11 votes. DMK MLAs were evicted from the assembly ahead of the vote. The party is also slated to hold a day-long hunger strike in protest against the trust vote and the treatment of its leaders inside the state assembly. Time for a short break. More on the other side.
St. Thomas Basilica, one of the world's 3 churches that is built over the Tomb of Apostles. St. Thomas was one of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ who brought Christianity to India. With an underground tomb where the remains of St. Thomas are laid, this magnificent basilica is of Gothic architecture. The stained glass of the church depicts some divine moments of St. Thomas's life. In 2006, this church was conferred with the status of National Shrine.
Is it not embarrassing for you as a very senior leader, like who was projected as a chief ministerial phase, and now you're forced to retract?
Time came when it would be embarrassing for 2 party contest jointly and have 2 chief ministerial candidates would be something which is very awkward and odd. So I decided that I would step out.
Is it not a bigger battle for 2019? It's not Rahul, but it's Akhilesh Yadav probably who will be the face of the 2019.
Circumstantially, you cannot predict that this will happen or that will happen. But of course, the media has this habit of being the first to say something.
Watch senior Congress leader and former Chief Minister of Delhi, Sheila Dikshit, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari arrived in Uganda on last leg of his 2-nation tour to Africa. He was received at the international airport in capital Kampala by his Ugandan counterpart, Edward Kiwonka Sesikandi. This is the first highest level bilateral visit from the country to Uganda since 1997. Today's itinerary includes an official meeting with President and the Vice President of Uganda and a business event. Early before departing for Uganda, Vice President wrapped up his visit to Rwanda with an address at the University of Rwanda in capital Kigali. In his address, he called terrorism a major hurdle in the quest for peace that can't be justified on any grounds. During his visit to Rwanda, the two sides signed 3 memorandums of understandings in the field of innovation, aviation sectors and visa requirements.
I say this in the confidence. The threat of terrorism has emerged as a major impediment in our quest for peace and prosperity for our people. The spreading tide of terrorism and extremism is a threat that all civilized societies face today. In India, we face the threat from across our borders. Terrorist action and violence cannot be justified on any grounds. We condemn terrorism in all its forms and manifestations and call for strong and concerted international effort to deal with this menace in a comprehensive manner.
Prime Minister Modi has urged the United States to keep an open mind on admitting skilled Indian workers. Welcoming a team of US congressional delegates to India, Prime Minister Modi listed contributions of Indian skilled workers, especially from the IT sector, in scripting the growth story of United States. This is the first delegation of US congressmen to visit India after Donald Trump formed the government. Indians are the largest group of recipients of H-1B visas issued each year to new applicants under a cap mandated by Congress. The actual numbers of Indians working in US under H-1B program is significantly higher.
And our Congress works to advance the interests of our constituents and create jobs in the United States. We know that if it's done right, that can benefit both the United States and India and other countries. But we are, at this point, not in a position to say what some of those new policies will be, because the President, who has made campaign promises, is also now in the process of attempting to turn some of those promises into his own policies.
While we completely acknowledge the right of American Congress and the political leadership to reassess, to reappraise, keep also fact in mind the kind of value the Indian mind, the Indian talent has contributed in making American companies and American economy more competitive, creating jobs and also creating revenue. And I'm very happy to hear that all the leading congressmen who are great supporters of Indo-US relationship has said that obviously we shall keep and consider that in mind.
China and India today held their upgraded strategic dialogue to shore up the bilateral ties. The talks come amid hectic parleys to resolve differences over Beijing's reluctance to support India's NSG bid, as well as UN ban on Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar. Just before the dialogue, Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar held talks with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Wang said China and India are two major developing countries and emerging markets beside important nations in the world. He also said that the strategic dialogue will be able to enhance their strategic communication, reduce misunderstanding and build more trust and deepen strategic cooperation. Jaishankar said the dialogue shows that India-China relationship today has gone well beyond bilateral manifestations. Jaishankar, along with China's Executive Vice Foreign Minister Yang Jiechi, later held strategic dialogue. On the issue of differences, Jaishankar said, there are natural issues which neighbors have, and it's responsibility of both the countries to address them. Union Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar has spoken on the house arrest of terror mastermind Hafiz Saeed. He has said it has to be seen whether this house arrest was a result of real wise thinking part of Pakistan authorities or simply because things had started burning under their feet. The Defence Minister also rejected the concept of good and bad terrorism, saying that I can say when you grow cactus, the thorns prick everyone. His comments followed Pakistan Defence Minister Khwaja Asif's remark that Saeed house arrest was in Islamabad's larger interest as he could pose a serious threat to the country. In a related development, Pakistan has cancelled licenses of 44 weapons issued to Saeed and other members of his organization, citing security reasons. An Indian doctor who was kidnapped by the ISIS in Libya has been rescued. He was held captive nearly 18 months back. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj tweeted that Dr. Ramamurthy Kostanam had sustained a bullet injury and is being brought back to India. Appreciating good work of Indian mission in Libya, Swaraj informed that government has now rescued all 6 people who were held captive in Libya. In 2016, India had secured the release of 2 other Indian nationals from the captivity of suspected Islamic State fighters. US President Donald Trump has unveiled plans for a sweeping crackdown on illegal immigrants. On Tuesday, the Trump administration released 2 memos which expand the pool of people targeted for detainment and deportation. The memos do not alter US immigration laws but take a much tougher approach towards enforcing existing measures. Undocumented immigrants arrested for traffic violations or shoplifting will be targeted along with those convicted for more serious crimes. The new immigration enforcement directives will allow for more deportations than those in place during the Obama administration. There are an estimated 11 million illegal immigrants in the United States.
This morning, Secretary Kelly and the Department of Homeland Security released memos regarding the implementation of 2 of the President's executive orders that are designed to protect the homeland. These 2 memos provide explicit guidance to DHS staff on how to carry out 2 executive orders signed by the President on January 25th, one dealing with interior enforcement and one dealing with border security. Perhaps most critically, the President is empowering DHS to carry out the immigration laws currently on the books.
India beat South Africa by 1 wicket in final of ICC Women World Cup Qualifier 2017 at Colombo on Tuesday. India achieved the target of 245 runs on the last ball of 50th over. For India, Deepti Sharma was the highest scorer with 71 runs, while Mona Meshram made 59 runs. Harmanpreet Kaur remained unbeaten at 41. Earlier, Rajeshwari Gaikwad claimed 3 wickets, while Shikha Pandey took 2 wickets to help India bowl out South Africa for 244 in 49.5 overs. Mdu Pri with 40 was top scorer for South Africa. Both teams had already booked a berth in this year's ICC World Cup. India is the only unbeaten team in the tournament. That's it for now. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for more. Thank you.